Look at all this loot! DJ, none for you! Here we see the mighty Nerf curator stalking his prey. Little does he know, Captain Xavier has mined the field. Okay, well, this is pretty much the coolest thing I've ever been sent by any of these companies because this thing is just absurd and amazing. It functions just like an actual anti-personnel landmine. It's either you can fire it using the clacker, which is remote control, has an on switch, blinks to tell you that it has... Currently, this is blinking to tell you that it's not connecting to the mine, which is a neat feature. When you then actually turn on the mine, the blinking goes away, and that's how you know that it is in fact armed. So that is a neat feature. It is then remote control. It releases when you pull the trigger, and it fires. And the way it fires is it's a tiny slingshot catapult kind of thing. It's got this web or this cloth basket that you put whatever the ammo in. It's designed to fire the water BBs. You could also fire airsoft BBs or rival rounds. Or I was originally just going to fire just Nerf dart heads that had come off. And they might actually work a little bit better. The rival rounds are a little too big, and so it doesn't fit well if you put more than a couple of rounds in. If you have the super squishy stuff, though, the stuff you get from LighTake or some of the off-brands that have really squishy rounds, those would actually probably work even better. Headshot ammo and official rival ammo is a little bit too solid to get very many rounds in it. We tested it in the video using the Banggood ammo that I sent that I will have done a review on, and you'll know it's got some features. It's also fairly rigid, and so it doesn't squish well, and so probably is not the best choice. I may try some other options. It fires a good, 20 feet, would you say? It was firing a solid 20 feet at human height, which is really more than enough for a landmine, if you ask me. It also has a manual detonation, as you saw, that it can be fired using a tripwire. This little ring right here can be hooked to a tripwire, and then it will fire. It's fairly sensitive, as long as your tripwire is well secured. Mine wasn't particularly well secured, but and neither was the mine. It really should be attached to something better than what I had, but it does work. And yeah, it's absolutely glorious. It does, the one I got, it does come with a safety, which is nice, so that you don't have to worry about it going off when it's on your person. The key goes right there in the front. It is designed to attach to MOLLE webbing. It could also attach to a belt, but it would have to be a fairly thin belt, which is why I think it was really designed to go on MOLLE webbing. It's also exactly the right width. The clacker also has the loop for either a belt or MOLLE. It does have rings on the back so that you could tie a rope around a tree and attach it to it. It also does have deployable feet, which are glorious, though I suspect they will be the first thing to break because it's a plastic L joint, which is just not going to hold up forever. But they are adjustable, so you can set it at different angles. If you have it perfectly parallel to the ground, it actually still fires up a little bit and will hit a man-sized target at about chest height. So that is neat.
And it's very intimidating.
It is. That is one potential flaw, is that it really does look like a Claymore mine from a distance and even up close. So, I mean, that for milsim, that's absolutely magnificent, of course, because you don't have to do anything to it to make it perfectly good for, you know, hyper-realistic airsoft events or whatever else. But for Nerf, you really might want to paint it, though of course that makes it really obvious, and kind of the point of a Claymore mine is that it's hidden. Kind of up to you, use some common sense. I would hope most constabulatory would not assume you have an actual functional Claymore, but you never know in this current atmosphere. The other feature is the main unit does come with a rechargeable battery, and they give you a USB charging cable for it with the correct connector. And I assume as long as you have the right voltage, that would be replaceable when it finally does give out, because rechargeable batteries don't last forever. The clacker does just take 2 AA's, so that's easy to replace. and it also has an off switch so that you don't have to worry about the battery going dead. The off switch also acts as a safety. I do wish that it had an additional safety. I will probably end up drilling a hole right here and making my own pin safety that then also will attach with a string so you don't lose it, so that you can pull that and fire it, which is lovely. It does also come with tripwire with a little handle for winding it up, which is just neat and one of those little bonus features that they didn't have to add, but somebody thought was worth it and just adds to the value of it all. I think this thing is absolutely magnificent, and I can't wait for the opportunity to try it out at an actual event. I can think of any number of scenarios where something like this would be handy. In our wars, probably not all that useful because we do mostly capture the flag or capture the MacGuffin or Titan Ball, all of which are multiple resurrections. So blowing someone up with a landmine, they're just going to go resurrect, and you'd have to reset the landmine, which is, it's not the easiest thing to set in a hurry. In order to load it, you put the balls in there, push down, and bring the door closed, and then get it to latch. And that's kind of the scary part, is getting it to make sure it actually does latch closed. And then you can put the safety in until you've got it positioned, and then you pull your safety and make sure it's armed and all of that. So I think this thing is pretty much the coolest thing ever, and I'm so thankful for LighTake for sending me this. The link will be in the description. Also, go ahead and check out the video on the ammunition, because that's a fascinating video. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, requests, if there is something on their website you would really like me to review because you're not sure whether you want to spend the money or not, let me know and I can ask them to send it to me, and if they're willing, then we'll do more videos. So the curator also helped me out with this video. He really, when I told him about this, he freaked out, and pretty much he wanted to come over at like 11 o'clock at night. I'm like, it's dark and raining, we can't do videos on it. But he came over this morning and helped me out, so that was cool, and allowed me to fire it at him at point blank range and test it and all of that. The ammo that we were using was that Banggood stuff, which, like I said, check out the video on that. I should probably test this with other ammunition, but that stuff worked well enough, and if it works with that stuff, it'll work with anything. So, there you have it. Questions, comments, concerns, comment section, and thank you guys for watching.